Hello, and welcome to Alchemy Mindset. I'm your host, Anna Hastie, business mindset coach for women and a sound healer. If you are ready to become the most aligned, magnetic, and confident businesswoman you are worthy and deserving of being, then this show is for you. This is where I share everything from mindset, energy, and spirituality, and how to embody your future self in business and life. Sprinkle that with deeply relaxing sound healings and meditations, and you have the Alchemy Mindset podcast. Hit subscribe so you always get the latest episode. Now let's begin. Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the Alchemy Mindset podcast. I am your host, Anna Hastie, and this episode is for you. If you've been thinking about changing your pricing, either raising your prices, you feel like it's time, but you're not quite sure how or what to do or whether it is the right time. People have been questioning you about your prices, as in, why are you charging this? How do you come up with your pricing? Or, you've heard people say in the background, God, that's a bit expensive. Or you just feel really uncomfortable with charging your worth. And you've got a few hang-ups about money mindset, about money itself, and about charging what you truly believe you are worth, or what your services are worth, or what your products are worth. Okay? Now, this episode is inspired by a recent email, I kid you not, that I received from someone, let's just say in inverted commas, challenging me about my pricing towards a current course that I had been offering. And I was like, okay, nice email. But thank you for sending it, because this is something that, being in a service-based industry that's not regulated, as in I work in a spiritual or alternative niche, let's say, or market, and there is no regulations as to what I should or should not charge. Everything comes down to me figuring out what to charge and being comfortable with it, based on a lot of factors, what other people, other industry, based on what other business owners in the similar kind of industry or similar kind of business charge, based on what is happening overall, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to break that down. But I was like, well, thank you for this email, because I love this topic of conversation. And while they were kind of insinuating, and I kid you not, that I was pulling figures like the cost of my course out of my bum and using spiritual tools to determine what to price it at, I was like, you know what? I am just going to politely reply as if you were someone asking me nicely how I come up with my pricing. Like, you're just curious, as in just so curious to know where you get your pricing from, or how do you price a course like this? Because I'm doing something similar, or I'm thinking about doing something similar. Not that they were or would, but, I just took it in that realm and replied very professionally and politely to them, breaking down how I come up with my pricing. And that's something I'm going to share within this episode. But overall, I have been wanting to do a money mindset type episode for a while. So I felt like this email I received was a perfect moment in time to talk about money, honey. Money, honey. Because let's face it, we all have different feelings, beliefs, and agendas when it comes to money. We all feel like money has some real big importance within our life, and that it's a thing that can control or can manipulate. It can make or break us. It can build communities and destroy others. We believe that it's got some sort of power and hold over us. The truth is, and this is what I've learned from years, like I've worked a lot on my money mindset, and I often hear people talk about money, or the way they talk about money, and I think, wow, so interesting. Like, because I've done a lot of work on my own money mindset to uncover my beliefs about money, to find out where they come from, to find out whether or not those beliefs are true, and to neutralize them. In other words, to basically find my peace and understanding about money. And I've worked under Catherine Zinkina, Manifestation Babe. I've done many of her programs. I've done work under Amanda Francis and other money mindset masters, I will say. And Currently, I'm listening on Audible, this really amazing book, and it's called Love Money, Money Loves You. And that's a really interesting book about a lady who actually has downloaded the consciousness of money and how money speaks and the way money actually works. Now, what I do know is that money is neutral, right? Money is a neutral thing that we place so much meaning on. Money in today's society means safety and security, basically as a whole. Without it, you're either going to be dead, dying, or in the gutter, and you can't support your friends, you can't support your family, you can't support yourself. And with it, you're able to do things that not only allow you to live and survive, like pay for your food, pay for the housing you live in of whatever kind that might be, mortgage, rent, blah, blah, blah. And it allows you to do things that you enjoy as well. So money holds a lot of meaning for us, but we often, and most of us do, and I'll say actually the whole of the world does, places this emphasis on money as if it was a thing that controls us, and yet we are the thing that controls money. Because I truly believe whether we were dealing with and trading in marbles or fluffy, cute rabbits, say, for example, your coffee was a cute little fluffy white rabbit, and to pay for your house, you had to have 10 massive size grey bunnies, we would still put some sort of emotional emphasis and meaning and thought behind what those marbles or fluffy rabbits would mean when we're trading, right? When we're exchanging those marbles, rabbits, or current currency, whatever country you live in, for the exchange of a goods or service, right? So overall, we all have some belief that we've grown up with or developed over time around the meaning of money. Now, before I just switch into pricing and helping you establish a way of figuring out maybe what your pricing should be within your business. And side note as well here, little side note, disclaimer, I'm not an accountant or a financial advisor or a bookkeeper. I'm just talking from my experience. So again, you're a smart, intelligent listener. If you ever need advice or ever any thoughts around this, please go seek some advice from one of those three people as to how your accounting needs to be within your business to be sustainable and beneficial and increasing for you. But if you want to talk about mindset around money, I'm your girl. Come and see me. I will help you with that. So going back to just describing how neutral money is and the way we use it, this is a really great analogy, right? If you went to see a surgeon, right, and he had to do an operation on you using a knife, that knife that he uses in that moment is for good, right? It's used to cut you open in whatever way it is, and then do something surgically to improve or better or to save your life, correct? So that surgeon has the tools, has the knowledge, has the means, has the skills and the experience to use that knife to save your life or to improve it or to do whatever they have to do, right? Now, if someone had a knife that they picked up to stab someone, to harm someone, to kill someone, is that knife good or bad? Is the knife good or bad? Or is it the person holding the knife good or bad? I want you to think about that, because when we think about our money beliefs, let's just say one of the common ones is all rich people are greedy and money only creates bad, like rich people are greedy, there's no good rich people in the world, that kind of meaning that a lot of people attach with people who have a lot of money, that they're bad, they're evil, they do bad things. We kind of put this emphasis that money is the bad thing. Money is doing the wrong. Money is creating the problems, the crimes, the disruption, the panic, the chaos, the misery, the poverty, everything like that. When actual fact, it's the person who holds it has to be described as the good or bad person, right? No good comes from money. Some of those beliefs that no doubt we've all heard or come across at some point in our life. So I just want you to take that little segment of money beliefs and go, all right, money is neutral. Money is like nothing. It's like you can pick up a spoon. Now, you can use the spoon for all what you want, but it's still a spoon. It's neutral. It's how you use it that determines its value, right? Now, the second thing I want to say, and this is probably more now leaning into pricing and getting comfortable with charging for what you believe you're worth or your services or your goods are. Everybody has a different way of buying and purchasing, just as everybody places the value of their money on the importance and the value of their money on different things. So some people love to spend their money on eating good food, going out and enjoying, fun experiences in like high-end restaurants, going on luxury holidays, and let's just say they love spending their money on upgrading the things in their house, like new TVs and fridges and who knows what, right? That's where they love to place the emphasis and meaning and their value of money. Whereas other people might be like, oh, well, that's just a bit like much. Whereas they value spending their money on doing experiences with family. Maybe they enjoy just secretly buying luxury handbags. I don't know. For me personally, I love spending my money on health and well-being. I love spending my money on food and going out for chais and things and coffees and cafes and breakfasts. And I love spending my money on holidays. So that's where I love to place my money, and I see the value and importance of what I like to spend on money, giving meaning and fun in my life, if you want to say. So everybody has a different way of seeing the value of money and how they spend money. And everybody has a different way of buying something, purchasing something. Some people, it's just straight away like, I see it, I want it, I'll buy it in a good, healthy kind of way. And some people, it's like, I see it, I want it, but I'm not sure. I'm going to research the hell out of it. And then I want to pick it up, hold it, touch it, feel it before I make a decision. Some people might see something they think they want, but they'll sit on it for a while, process it through their mind, maybe try it on in their mind. Maybe they'll do a little bit more research around that particular thing, whatever, before they make a choice. I'm very much I see it, I want it, I'm going to think about it, but I do like to see it in person generally before I buy it. So particularly if I'm thinking of buying something that I'm unfamiliar with, like let's just say I'm going to be shopping in the near future for new baby products and baby items. So I want to be able to see the pram before I buy it, or I want to see like the baby carrier before I buy it, and blah, blah, blah. Side note, oh my God, I haven't even announced this to you, dear listener, unless you've been in my email or my socials. I'm 15 weeks pregnant at the time of recording this. Yes, baby number 2 is coming at the end of March. So no doubt there will be a whole new episode around that at some point. But yes, there you go. Forgot to mention this. Forgot to put this at the start, maybe. Hey, hello, just got a little life update for you. Having another baby. Oh my goodness. Actually, I'll talk more about this in another upcoming episode. That's right. Anyway, spoiler alert. So going back, everybody has a different way of buying and purchasing things. Now, when it comes to pricing, here's one example I recently had with a friend who is a massage therapist, and she was telling me very excitedly that she would hopefully in the near future be charging or adding GST to her massage services, as she has finally reached the threshold in her income where she will now have to add it. So massage in Australia, for those who are from other countries, is a service where when you exceed a certain income threshold, you have to add GST, which is a services tax. And then that tax is taken out of your pricing and you give it to the government. And then if you buy something that has GST, you can claim on that. So it's a little bit of an accounting process. It can, sometimes you come out break even depending, anyway, whatever. I'm not getting into that because that's not part of this podcast. Again, I'm not an accountant. Anyway, it's very exciting for her because that means she's earning some killer dollars in her business, and she's getting to a point where she's like, holy moly, I'm going to be in GST land soon. I'm going to have to up my pricing. Now, I can speak from experience. When I worked as a massage therapist, the moment I was like, holy moly, I'm going to have to charge GST, I flipped out. Because first of all, I was very excited because I was like, shit, this is the first time in years where I have earned more than I've ever earned in my whole entire life. Like, I kid you not. I've always been in that sort of lower income bracket, having worked and backpacked overseas, worked in like entry-level admin in my early 20s, that kind of thing. So to earn more than minimum wage in a sense, I was like, wow, holy crap. But that also meant I had to change my pricing to add in GST so that at the end of the day, I was still earning what I wanted to earn, but the tax wasn't affecting that amount that I was earning. So that is kind of the crux of what I talked to her about. I said, babe, that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. You're killing it. She said, yes, I want to raise my pricing. And she told me how much she wanted to raise her prices to. And I went, no, you got to raise it to more. Like, look at the people around you in this town and what they're charging. You're just as good, if not better. You should be on par with them or close to. And she goes, no, I could never raise my price to that. I said, okay, if you couldn't do it now, do you think you can do it in the future? And she said, yes. I said, well, why can't you do it now? Does it scare you, or does it make you feel a little bit excited, but you still find it scary, or is it just completely terrifying? And she said, well, I feel scared and terrified by it. I don't feel comfortable. I said, okay, this is what I want you to keep in mind. If you raise your prices to this, is that including or excluding GST? And she said, including. I said, all right, when you take that GST out, because you don't get to keep that, that has to go straight to the tax person or the tax department, this is how much you are left in terms of a raised price. So this is what you're currently charging. So minus GST out of that, that's how much you would be charging for a massage. How does that make you feel? And she went, oh, that doesn't feel like I'm charging my worth. I said, I said, this is your new price if you include, or if you're raising it slightly, not necessarily to fully reflect the GST because it's 10%, but if you take that 10% out of the new price, that is what you're left with. Does that still feel okay? And she went, kind of, but you could see in her mind, she was like, oh, that still feels less than what I feel like I should be charging for what I do. And I'm like, yeah. So I said to her, sometimes you can do incremental raises. Everybody's raising their prices. Like post-COVID, the world's inflated like a hot air balloon. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a bookkeeper. I don't work in that realm, but I don't see the prices ever coming down. Nothing comes down with inflation. Everything always goes up. Things may like fluctuate up and down a bit, but generally things are going up and everything else has to meet the inflation of whatever is set now. Anyway, so here's the hot tip here for you guys if you're thinking about raising your prices. If you're a bit nervous about wanting to raise your price to an absolute full-blown, this is what I really want to charge, but I don't want to make the massive leap because I feel like that's too big, could be too big for me, could be too big for my clients, right? Because a lot of us in this service-based holistic industry can get a bit caught up on, is anybody going to like stop seeing me because my prices have gone up? Or is they going to be okay with this? Am I going to lose customers? Will anybody come and see me? We all have that. Or is this too much for them? Because, you know, we're all so kind and caring about people's financial health and well-being. I said, why don't you do an incremental rise now? And then in the new year, you do the next little one, which isn't uncommon. People often do a rise when it's like a new year and after the financial year. 6 months on either side. Would that feel okay? And she said yes. And I said, well, just keep that in mind. Raise your prices now and just explain to people, look, congratulations to me. I'm now charging GST, which is a great sign as a business. Like, we shouldn't be hiding the fact that you've reached a level in your business where you can charge tax on top of what you earn. And yes, it does affect the person purchasing it, but oh my God, how many times have you swiped your card right now and you've been charged for card fees? Like, that used to be just on Ticketek, or like, what was the other? Ticketmaster, when you bought like your concert tickets to see the ballet or a show or a rock concert or something, like you go, oh, I have to pay a fee on this, like a booking fee? No, fees are getting added left, right, and center. So as small business owners, we need to step up in our money mindset for a reason, because we have to take care of ourselves and our business. And as much as we'd love to do this for free, that is not possible unless you can live on air. And if you can, please let me know how you do that, because I would love to join you. It's not possible. We have to be able to stand solid within the work that we do, create and set a bar within our industry that we're not here for shits and giggles, and we mean business. And it's okay for a holistic and spiritual business, an alternative business, anybody who dabbles in whatever kind of whatever, to earn money. earn money. Yes, you are allowed to earn money. You're allowed to have money. You're allowed to say, I earn X amount of money. You're allowed to even say, I want to be a 6-figure therapist or a 6-figure business owner, which means you hit over $100,000 or whatever the currency is that you live in the country. You're okay to say one day, I'm going to be a multi-million-dollar company. Hells yeah, babe. That's me. That's going to be me one day. 100%. 6-figure and then on the rise to multiple 7 figures. Like that is my ambition. Now, let's get back to track. So once I talked to her about that, she was like, okay, that makes sense. That's okay. And I said, because here's the breakdown. And this is the breakdown I politely and diplomatically gave that emailer as a reply when it came to my pricing. I said, thank you for this email. I love this topic of conversation. I have this regularly with other therapists within this town, and it's often a bit of a gray area. No, I don't just rely on a pendulum, oracle cards, astrology, or any other spiritual-based tool to determine my pricing. I actually use what I believe is a sound business way of determining what I need to charge for a course or my services. And this is how I do it. And this is kind of what I shared to my friend. And I took it from basically, I said to her, imagine a pie chart, which we all know is a round circle divided up into little segments according to a percentage of the value of whatever we're breaking it up into, this thing that we're breaking up to. And in this case, it's the cost of running a course for me personally. And I said to my friend, and I kind of had that in mind when I was writing this email, because many years ago, when I worked for about a month in the French Alps as a massage therapist for a business, I was contracted to them. They actually handed us a pie chart and said, if anybody ever challenges you on the cost of doing a massage in these ski fields, here is a breakdown of the cost of where every single euro goes from that service into where it goes. And it went into things like travel expenses, wages, laundry, blah, 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 rent, etc. So I said to her, imagine you got a pie chart and the whole figure, 100% of that is what you earn in one session. So I was thinking of my course and how much it would cost for one person to sign up. And I looked at it and I went, right, how much is it going to cost me to rent the venue that I need to hold this course over, which accumulates to like 10 hours in total? What is then the tax I have to pay? What is the GST I'm going to have to take out? What is like any super I'm going to be able to give myself, including wages? What are any other taxable items or billable items, I should say, I'm going to have to pay for, such as gifts, any food or nibblies, let's say, printing of handbooks, because I've got to do it's going to end up being about 50 of those in total, advertising print material, so all the little posters are stuck up around town, and anything else that's in terms of like, oh, I'm printing some oracle cards. I thought I was going to, long story short, I was looking for some new affirmation cards to hand out, and I found some, and I thought, oh, this is a great idea. I'll just buy like, they sometimes have like affirmation cards on an A4 sheet, and it's like $2 to get the PDF. And I thought, I'll just get that printed. It's actually going to cost me more to get them printed than it is just to buy a deck of oracle cards and have it posted from somewhere. Lordy Lord, I do make things hard for myself. All those other things. And then I look at the unbillable items. So I look at my own training, my own knowledge, where that's all come from literally over 10 years of study, courses, workshop, professional development, you name it, readings, experiences. You can't put a value on that, because if I was to tally up every single course I've done, oh my God, I think I've spent probably like over $100,000. I could easily say over $100,000 in my time of professional development, from all extremes, from short little courses to month-long training, plus travel time. Oh, and travel is a bit of an expense as well. Plus the time it takes me to advertise, market this. Like I have to sit at my laptop, literally, you could say almost for free, to come up with content to encourage people to sign up or to give them valuable reasons why this course would be of value to them. Then I have to pay for like booking system as well to book them all in. All those things that come out of it. You can get the point here, right? And then not to mention all the time it takes to set up, pack down this course, the value of the instruments like my bowls that I'm taking with me. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes that I cannot actually be billed for, but it is my time, basically. And then it's my time of sitting with 10 people in a group over 5 weeks to share knowledge and help them better and improve themselves. Excuse me while I don't get my pendulum out or my oracle cards or consult astrology to figure out my pricing. I do it in this logistical, strategic kind of way. And let's side note, to rent my space, the space that I want to use for 10 hours in total is going to cost me about $660. And that takes out a large chunk of what I am charging in total, due to the fact that I also have again undercharged myself. I did an early bird and then I did a full price. People love an early bird. And so at the end of the day, what I believed I was charging was my worth. When I went back to look at my figures, I was like, oh my goodness, Anna, you've short yourself again. I actually lose out. I'm losing out again on this course, but I'm doing it because I love it, and I'm doing it because it's worthwhile, and I'm doing it because people are genuinely interested. So I just want to share that with you, because when it comes to figuring out the pricing and the cost of things, I think some people outside of the small business realm forget the time and energy it takes behind the scenes to produce and create what you and I do. And some of it is billable. Some of it will be the fact that if you're making, let's say, soap, you've got to buy ingredients and products and containers and labels, and you've actually then got to spend time making the thing to be able to sell it for what, like $5 a bar of soap or something? I mean, I don't know what the running cost of soap is these days. I hope it's a bit more than $5 if you're a small business, but you know what I mean? Like, and then to have someone stand there go, oh, that's a bit pricey. You're like, well, hold on a moment. Do you know what just went in behind making this thing? Oh, you can see how I'm so passionate about this. Anyway, so polite email returned. I kindly broke down all those figures and explained that this is how I come up with my process, because I want people to understand. And at the end of the day, I wanted this person to also understand I don't get to take home 100% of this income. God, I would love to. I would love to take it all home and just splash it around. But no, I don't. After I've broken it down and divided it up into all the places where it has to go, what I am left with goes straight into my household, goes into looking after Ava, contributing to the household, and not often does it come back to me. Oh, yeah. So anyway, I just want to put that there, because if you're feeling like you want to raise your prices and you're not sure how, go back to your expenses. How much does it cost you to run your business right now? Okay. And then think of all the things that you want to do in your business and the cost of having that as well. Does what you currently earn cover those current figures plus more? When people question you over your prices, you can just be polite and say, look, there's a lot that goes in. I'm more than happy to break it down for you. Because I think some people just have no flipping clue. And I just feel like maybe this goes more into that whole throwaway society and buying all that cheap shit out there. We don't really understand the cost of things and how much it costs to make something. But then we don't understand that when someone has lovingly made something that isn't mass produced in a way, that it is going to cost something, because there is an actual individual person behind it. There is a small business behind it. There is someone who's doing this because this is their love, this is their passion, this is what they believe is their calling in life, and they want to make something for it. This is to support them, right? And if you're feeling uncomfortable about what you're charging, again, go back and just see, are you charging your worth? Are you meeting the standard of other people within your industry? So say, for example, you're a massage therapist. Are your prices comparable or similar or on par with other therapists in your town? Or are you severely undercharging yourself? Like, if anybody out there is a massage therapist currently, and you know, you've got legit qualifications and you have the industry experience, are you charging under $100 for an hour? Because if you are, you're insane. If you're doing it for shits and giggles and for just the love and to have fun as a hobby, then I'm really happy for you. But honestly, you should be raising your prices. You need to. Also, pricing self-care is important because what you're doing is important. And actually, here's another little side note. Oh my God, I love this one. So I feel like back in the day, massage therapists were often pictured as, now I'm talking about in like 1998 when I finished high school and I was considering doing actual massage therapy. I know. It took me 10 years later, a lot of life twists and turns to go, yeah, actually, I still want to be a massage therapist, or I want to study massage therapy and see where I go with it. So finishing high school, I believe people had this perception that massage therapists were people who were poverty-stricken. They had holey jumpers, barely paid their rent, lived off lentils and rice, couldn't pay for heating, had threadbare clothes, and very hippie, right? And the potential ability for a massage therapist to charge, $100 or more was obscene. Nobody really gets a massage. It's kind of a bit frivolous, or it's a little bit of a luxury thing. And there is no way that a massage therapist could ever earn over $100,000, like be a six-figure therapist. Fast forward to my time as a therapist, so anytime from 2010 onwards, hells yeah, I met so many therapists, and I was actually in the ball game of, like, if it wasn't for freaking COVID, I probably would have ended up definitely having a business that got me over $100,000 within a year. But as we know, within my story, COVID happened. I needed to jump off that bandwagon, that one too, the runaway train, to shift my life into sound bath healing and what I am doing today. But I knew I would have got there. And I know other therapists who had run like, was it multimodality therapy centers, or hired other therapists to work for them, and they were running like multiple six-figure businesses. Like, amazing. Well done. Congratulations. Like, so you should. Everybody deserves to be in that game. Nobody should be any less or undervalued. And I have to say, like, there are times when I have had people inquire and ask me about running like private group sound bath healings and things like that, that they've actually turned around and gone, oh, that's too much. And I'm like, well, that's what I charge. That's based on breakdown of everything. And I've also undercharged myself and still been rejected. So it's never going to be a complete win-win situation, but you have to be comfortable and strong and stand fully behind your pricing to know that that's what you want to charge, and that is based on what you believe is right for you and your business. Now, if that is all sort of logical, makes sense, and you're doing it already, but you've still got some sort of money block sitting there that is making you feel super uncomfortable about charging, about what you truly believe is your worth, blah, 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 feel free to reach out. Let's have a chat. See how I can help you shift those money blocks, because that is part of something. Money is a foundation and backbone of a business. That is something that is holding you back from having a successful, thriving business, from earning your potential so that you can live your dream life. And your dream life does involve having money to be able to do all those things that you want to do. Support your family, have nice things, live in a lifestyle that feels in alignment for you, whatever that may be. So have a think. Is there something around money that is stopping you from feeling comfortable about charging what you're worth? Where are those money stories coming from? Who said those money things, and are they true for you? Oh, money mindset and business go hand in hand, my friends. So that's where I'm going to leave you. I hope that really helps in terms of figuring out pricing, money mindset, and charging your worth. If you're wanting my take on should you do a price rise, yes. If you feel like it's time and the prices you're currently charging don't feel in alignment anymore, there's a sign that yes, maybe it's time to just do a quick little review of everything, raise your prices, and go from there. And, you can just do it in a really cool, subtle way of, you don't have to make a massive, big show of it. It's just prices are going up as of this date. You don't even have to justify it. Like the amount of people that say, oh, the cost of this and that, it's like, we know, we know prices are going up. We know what the cost of living is. Just say, just in reflection of my current business standing, I'll be raising my prices as of this, and full stop. Done. You don't have to make a song and dance out of it. Anyway, and celebrate. Celebrate if you're doing a price rise. Celebrate if you get into GST. Celebrate if you've hit a milestone in your business. Celebrate the fact that you're earning and making money, honey, because that's what business is about, and that's why we're in business, to make money. We are. It is a foundation of being in business. And There are a whole lot of other meanings and benefits and rewards for being in business that we all want to achieve and have goals towards, but money is one in there, and it's okay to talk about it and feel great about it and do something with it. Anyway, I've got to go. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Thank you so much for listening. And yes, in a couple of episodes, let me just have a look, real-time look for you. What's this one? Number 85. So then in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 episodes time after this one, so in 6 episodes time, I'm going to be sharing with you a whole entire world that I lived through within the end of July and for all of August. And it will tie in with a little bit about baby number 2. But you got to hold out for that one. Episode 90 is going to be a real whoa. And yeah, actually, I want to give you a quick summary on some of the episodes that are coming up. So next episode is going to be another mindset style episode for you. I'm still deciding on which topic to go with. And then after that, I've got 3 amazing interviews with 3 incredible women that I've crossed paths with over the last few years. And I've just been watching them on their socials and following them in the background. And I thought, you know what, I have to have them come on the show because I just feel like these women are doing and achieving such incredible things within their life and business as well. But just have that inspiring story of if someone can do it, so can you. And these are the kind of stories that I personally love to read and hear about. I love hearing about people who do things beyond the possible. And yeah, I just feel like these 3 ladies are just fantastic. So I'm going to have a series of 3 episodes come out. And then episode 90. Big, massive moment in my life from this year, followed by 2 episodes with the people who have supported me within that moment and that time. And yes, both people have previously appeared on my podcast. Yes, very exciting to have returning guests. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And then we're probably just rolling into the last few episodes of the year. I know, right? And then there'll be a few life updates in that. Holy guacamole, that is it. I leave you here. I send you so much love. Let me know how this episode landed. If you've got any questions, want to work on your mindset, I've got space still up until March next year to do 90-minute coaching sessions. Please reach out. Sending you so much love. Have an amazing day. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to today's episode. Please rate and review this podcast so that it can continue to thrive and reach more listeners. I love to know who my listeners are, so please screenshot this episode and tag me on Instagram at Anna F. Hastie. And I look forward to connecting with you in the next episode.